We're back!
We are back. Episode 5.
Christmas traditions. I'm Erica.
And I'm Erica.
No.
No. I'm Dominic. That's Erica. I think. Anyway. Hello everybody. Merry Christmas. It's December.
Happy Christmas, you mean?
Happy Christmas. Merry Crimbo, if you're a Beatles fan. See, there you go. Plugging the Beatles already.
Yes.
Can't keep away from them. But yes, this is all about Christmas traditions and what you like to do and all that kind of stuff. When I was a kid, when I was growing up in Britain, because that's where I'm from.
No. You're not from Britain.
See, your mother actually thought I was from Detroit, didn't she? I'll have to tell that story. Tell that story really quick.
No, I mean, the first time she talked to you, you're talking about.
Yeah, on the phone.
On the phone, yeah. And she hands the phone back to me. And she's like, okay, yeah, nice. Okay, bye, whatever. And then she says to me, how do you know he's really British? He doesn't have hardly an accent. He could be from Detroit for all you know.
Don't have hardly an accent. Yeah, you daft Apeworth. I have an accent. I do. Yeah. Do. Yorkshire born, me.
Anyway,
getting back to the Christmas traditions. When I was growing up in Britain, it was very common to, like, you know, basically do the same kind of things that you do over here. You know, you had a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You had the Christmas lights. And I mean, it's all kind of subjective, really. I mean, I guess people, you know,
some people do it more.
Some people do it more.
Some not at all.
Some not at all. Some people are just total and utter Scrooges on Christmas. You know, it's just like, bah humbug. I'm not putting up any tree. I'm not opening the door to any carolers.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
I'm not watching any Christmas films. I'm not eating one single mince pie.
Yeah.
But you don't really, that's another thing, you don't really eat them over here.
No, so Christmas traditions in America start the day after Thanksgiving, basically.
Yes, which we do not do in Britain, so...
You do, though, don't you?
What, we do Black Friday?
Yeah, well,
That's a retail thing, though. That's kind of like...
What was it? It's not Black Friday, but it's December 1st. I mean, well, they do Black Friday
December
now,
1st,
too,
yeah.
I see people...
That's it, like, in London.
Yes.
In Oxford Street.
Do not tell me you don't do that, because I've been there.
But it's like, that's the start of Christmas shopping, I guess.
Oh my God, you guys. You think Black Friday is crazy? Try being in London on the first day of December on Oxford Street, or...
I had no idea about it.
It was
either,
Carnaby. It was
Carnaby Street.
Yeah, Oxford. Well,
it was Oxford Street. It was
another
Bond
Street.
Maybe Bond Street.
No, I can't remember. But anyway, no, there were like 3 different streets, and literally you could not walk.
Chock-a-block.
I mean, I was a little bit concerned. You know, it was my first time in London. I was a little bit concerned about pickpocketing or whatever, because
British people.
You're really that packed.
Terrible British people.
You're really that packed in.
Pickpocketing you.
And I don't know how many tourists there were. I'm assuming a lot, but I'm assuming
that was mostly tourists. I heard accents from all over the world. I didn't hear a single British accent in that crowd, actually.
And it was basically...
Except for mine. But I'm from Detroit, so...
All the decorations have been put out, and it looks really nice. You know, the street is decorated one end to the other. But everybody's just out because of the sale. So it's basically the same thing as Black Friday, only, like, completely insane. Like, the traffic is shut down, and it's
all pedestrianized, and it's chock-a-block.
Full of people walking.
Chock-a-block is like...
you are literally smushed.
It's like a parking lot,
yeah,
I would say. Yeah,
well, you're literally smushed against people like you are on a packed subway.
Yeah.
It was like that packed.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it was a lot crazier to me than Black Friday. Well, Black Friday is just...
I think I've only done it once here. And we went to Walmart, didn't we? And it was absolutely insane. People were falling over the place. People were running up and down the aisles. Some, you know, grown men and women were fighting over a stuffed toy. It was just mental. It was just, why are you doing this? It's like 20% off. That is all it is, you know?
It seems to have gotten less over the years. Like,
I think because people are shopping online more.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing it via Amazon or
and because
eBay
who wants to
like
fight
that.
other people on Black Friday? I mean, it's
No,
just like...
not me.
But anyway, that's when our Christmas traditions start. The day after Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving Day
the
now.
Christmas
a lot
lights
of the time. A lot of people
London.
put up their decorations the day after Thanksgiving here.
Yeah.
I know they do Black Friday. Sorry, I started sort of another topic.
Yeah.
But I know they do Black Friday in Britain now, though, because I've seen it on, like, Twitter and...
yeah.
Did I say London? I meant Britain.
London, Britain. It's the same thing. To Middle America, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how crazy Black Friday is over there, but
it's probably
December
nuts.
1st in London, I do know that is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't like people fighting each other for toys or anything.
No.
It was just a lot of people, and we were going against the traffic.
Yes.
So it was even more crazy. We were walking up and we were like dodging and weaving people, and we were just like, what is going on?
I remember.
And we had to duck in, and I had to pull Erica into a shop because it was like, okay, Primark. her first experience of Primark or Primark or whatever people call it. But yeah, it was just crazy. And you know, I mean, getting back to that, it starts then, and I think the lighting of the Christmas lights in like Oxford Street, down the streets in London and stuff like that starts. You know, like the Rockefeller tree over here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really do that. I mean, I'm sure there's like little villages and stuff have like...
Yeah, you guys don't have, we have, again, that's another American tradition. Like, okay, you have the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Like, for us, Christmas starts on Thanksgiving, you guys.
Hey! Well, yeah, it pretty much is Christmas. I mean, you have a turkey and everything, you know.
Well, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade ends with Santa. I mean, you've got the Rockettes in their, like, Santa costumes, and they're doing their kicks and everything. So it's like, it's very Christmassy, and it gets you in the mood. Like, okay, yay, Christmas is gonna...
The Christmas season has begun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have that, and then we have the tree in, the lighting of the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. I'm sure there are some other like things that all Americans kind of like tune in for. Like, oh yes, this is a Christmassy thing. But you guys don't have any. I mean, that's like in New York, but all of America kind of. Well, I mean, I say that. I have always watched it, and I don't live in New York. So I'm assuming a lot of America watches that every year. You know, the lighting of the Christmas tree. It's like... It's a Christmas tradition.
I think native New Yorkers, I think we'll have a couple of listeners from New York. I'm not sure. Maybe one. I don't know.
Maybe half.
Maybe half of one. But I think they don't bother going down there. I mean, they might have done it once in their life, but that's it. You know, it's kind of like...
Well, it's like... We don't go and see a lot of the touristy things here in Austin. So
we don't.
That makes sense. But...
And they don't, you know, and New York City, there's always something going on, and there's always something like it's world famous or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I imagine going down to watch the tree lighting in Rockefeller would be crazy, because you got tourists there, you got everybody there, and it's just like, you know. But
is there there isn't an equivalent in Britain that like starts the season?
The lighting of the Christmas lights. They usually get like a celebrity to do it.
What Christmas lights though? In
like
London?
In Oxford, down Bond Street or Oxford Street.
But is that televised?
I'm not sure if it is actually, but it happens kind of like in every like high street in Britain.
Yeah.
I think this is.
And do people go out to?
And like, they usually get like a celebrity to do it in London, you know, like and people turn out to see it, you know, to see the lights go on finally. You know, they'll get like a local celebrity to do it, or they might get a national celebrity, someone who's famous, you know, like I can't remember who's done it, you know, like people in the past who have done it. Usually it's boy bands, or actually it's usually people who are doing like the Christmas number, who are like in competition for the Christmas number one.
Yeah.
What we were talking about in Christmas music. It's usually like, you know, like boy bands, as I remember, were doing it because they were like things. So, you know, in 2003 it might have been Billy Mack lighting it, you know. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, you know, go buy my album, get me to number one.
Speaking of Christmas lights, you guys don't really do them up the way people do over here.
Not Clark Griswold style, no. I mean, I've never really seen it.
I mean, because we were watching, I don't know, somebody on YouTube or something sort of talking about the same thing, and it's just like, it makes sense to me, though, that Christmas lights aren't as big a thing in Britain because there are more in the towns. The towns are more compact. They're more like what we would consider
You'd have to
like,
cover the whole town in lights to get, you know.
Well, yeah.
People just don't want to do
people
it.
live more compact over there than they do here. Like, you have your lot that you live on is just a bigger space in general than most British people have, unless you live kind of out in the country or something like that.
Yeah.
Like even small towns, we're not just talking about London or Liverpool or Birmingham or, you know, Manchester or whatever, any of the big cities. We're talking about even the smaller cities or towns in Britain. They have a town center and then they spread out from there, but there's still like a lot of row houses, a lot of like
terraced houses,
a lot of what we call duplexes.
Yeah, semi-detached.
And they don't really have much of a yard or much like space to really decorate the outside, so it's just
it's not really, you know, I mean, I've seen it happen. I mean, there was a couple of houses around where my gran used to live in Wales. My uncle lives now, that do it, you know, they'll put up, like, in the window. It's usually in the window they'll do it.
Yeah.
They'll put it in the windows.
Well, that's what I mean. There's just not a lot of, like,
but on
surface
the outside,
area, too.
Yeah, there's not a lot of surface area to put the Christmas lights.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I mean...
Usually what other like tradition will be like carolers. You know, you'll see carolers in the town centre singing. And brass bands doing, like, hymns.
I love that. I always want that over here. It's never happened. Not once has anybody ever come and knocked on my door and sung a freaking song at Christmas.
Yeah,
that is all
we used to have it a lot
life.
when I was a kid, but then it kind of started tapering off. Like, it would be, like, kids who'd turn up. It wouldn't be, like, sweet little girls or whatever, or sweet, like, an actual carol group would sing, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." It'd be like a bloke looking for, like, it was like
a teenager.
Teenager looking for money. "We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." And he'd put his hand out, you know. I remember that one.
Expecting it.
And it was exactly like that too. It was like no flat, you know. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I gave him £1 or something and told him to bugger off like in Love Actually.
You know, commercials and movies and things like that always make it seem like all these people are going out in groups and caroling and stuff, like you know, like at the turn of the century or
well,
whatever.
yeah, I mean, a lot of our Christmas traditions kind of have roots in Victorian age.
Yeah, but people still do it, though, is the thing. People still do it in Britain, and nobody does it over here. You know, they show it on television, but it's
they've got Hallmark for that, so it's like, you know.
I've never seen anybody do it, and I always have wanted to do it, and also to have someone do it to me. So there you go. If you know where we live and you are around at Christmas, come and knock on our door and sing me a song, and I will be very happy.
She won't give you any money,
no,
but she'll be very happy.
I don't have it to give.
Yeah, because I mean, it would be kind of like Salvation Army brass bands.
Yeah, I mean, you can
and stuff like that. They'd have a guy, and they'd sit in like the malls or something, and that's when you kind of knew it was Christmas. You'd come in and you'd hear like the.
Well, okay. I mean, we have that kind of thing.
You know, in the town centre.
We do have that, but I'm talking people coming around to your house.
Oh yeah. You don't have that.
We don't have.
I mean,
that,
people don't walk. Usually, it's like it's like a walk.
True.
People don't walk over here. You know, they're not going to drive and go, "Yeah, let's get out here and sing some carols."
Yeah. Okay, so what other traditions kind of differ?
Stockings.
Yeah.
Stockings.
Yeah, now you and I have discussed this before.
I think we all had like a round table discussion on it, didn't we? Once at dinner years ago.
Yeah.
And I was saying, oh, you know, putting stockings up when I was a kid, and they put it on the mantelpiece, you know, which you know,
that's what we do.
Yeah, you can do it in Britain, but I've had it done when I was a kid. I used to get mine on the edge of the bed, on the end of the bed, really.
Which is crazy to me.
And it's like,
Because how does Santa fill your stocking without waking you up?
Santa is magic. Santa is magic. And it's also a way to check if you really are asleep. Santa's been in your room, you know.
Yeah.
He's at the edge of your bed and he's looking and he's seeing. And if he sees your eyes flicker or wake up, you're gone.
You're gone.
No stocking for you.
But yeah, when I discovered that this is the tradition in Britain, and I want to know, is it the tradition in Britain, or is this just something strange that you did in your family? Something
strange that we did.
I mean, do
family.
all British people hang their stocking on the bed?
Obviously, it's not just us. I think I've read somewhere that a couple of people have it on their doorknobs. You know, their bedroom door.
Like outside their bedroom?
Maybe outside the bedroom, or I'm guessing outside the bedroom.
You know,
but people put them on the mantelpiece.
Yeah.
And you know, when you come
stockings
down,
were hung by the chimney with care. You know?
But it was something. I don't know if it is a tradition in Britain, but it depends on how you see it. I think it's basically so Santa can come in and he can see that you're asleep.
Yeah.
Know that you've been good, and you can fill your stocking with, you know, treats. I mean, what kind of stuff did you get in stockings? Because I always got like an orange. Chocolate, yeah.
I would get an orange.
Gold coins.
I would get an orange and nuts in my stocking at my grandma's house.
Yeah, I get some nuts too. I get maybe a wrapped present.
But at home, usually chocolates, maybe like a little pair of earrings or something, like just little fun earrings, nothing like expensive. I don't know, lottery ticket scratch-offs.
No, I never got them.
Like, as a kid.
As a kid.
I mean, I guess this is, you know, as I got a little bit older, but I don't know, little toys, just things like that. I can't really remember anything specific, you know.
Yeah,
mostly candy though.
It was mostly chocolate and sweets for me too. I maybe, funnily enough, I actually got socks in my stocking as well. Yeah. And like, I don't know, maybe a pair of gloves, but it was like nuts. It was like a chocolate orange. Or
I think we get like a toothbrush and like a little
I can't remember
and stuff
now.
like that.
It's been so kind of like long since I've like, you know, had a British stocking when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've been over here now for years, but it's just...
But, you know, thinking back, I kind of like... At the time, I remember, like, wah, wah, you know, when I would get my stocking at my grandma with the orange and the nuts and stuff. It was just like, there would be some candy in there, but not much, you know. It would be, like, an orange and an apple and, like, nuts. And it was just
Didn't get a piece of coal?
Nope.
Lump of coal?
No. You and I, again, have already had this discussion, but I want to talk about it with our listeners because I'm curious to know.
Yes, listeners.
And everything that we're talking about, by the way, I want you guys to, on our Facebook page...
Get involved.
Yeah,
Talk
get involved.
about it.
Get involved. Get in on the discussion because I really am curious, all of your traditions, too, just to see how they differ around the world and house to house, you know? Because... Santa, when I was a kid, would always leave, like, whatever, like, one big present, and then, like, a family present, maybe something else kind of small, and that was about it. All the other presents under the tree were from my mom and dad, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But yours was different, right? Your parents didn't get you anything for Christmas.
It was all Santa, really.
Yeah, so
as I remember, it was all Santa.
They just left it up to Santa.
What I remember this footage.
One more note on mine. The Santa gifts were never wrapped.
Oh, they weren't?
No, like he would just leave them straight from the toy factory. You know, he just pulled it out of his bag.
Actually, revisiting it, I think I did get some stuff from my mother and father. I mean, you know, it was just like it was kind of like mixed in. But I remember when I was 4 or 5, something like that. It was like 1990, 91 or something. It's footage of me pulling out stuff from a huge sack.
Like Santa just left you the whole sack.
Left me the whole sack.
That's cool. I really like that, actually.
And I just remember, and it was all wrapped. So, you know, it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I know. Santa does wrap some people's, but mine were never wrapped. So I don't know. It's just different. It's just different house to house, and
But what do you put out for Santa?
Milk and cookies.
Milk and cookies. Yeah, that's the big thing. Because I heard it was a quiz question or something on the radio in there. It was like, oh, what did you traditionally leave out for Santa to come? You know, or Father Christmas, as we call him in Britain sometimes. You know, we call him Santa Claus too. But
Kris Kringle.
Well, we don't say that.
Saint Nicholas.
Nah. It's Father Christmas. It's Father Christmas. Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, milk and cookies. No, nothing specific. Just whatever cookies we feel like.
What I always remember is
out. And a carrot for the reindeer.
And a carrot for the reindeer. Yeah. I don't know if we left anything for the reindeer. I can't remember. But I always
one carrot for all the reindeer to share.
Yeah. Little carrot for the reindeer. I think it was always, my dad used to say, and my mother used to say, it's like, what should we leave out for Santa? It's like, well, Santa, he needs a glass of wine. He likes a glass of wine, Santa does. And he likes a mince pie.
Well, there you go.
And I was like, okay, and that was it. And for every Christmas, it was a glass of wine. Rather large one, actually. And,
so, see, he needs the milk and cookies by the
time
he gets over to America. He needs the milk and cookies by the
time he gets over here, because he's had so much wine. Because, I mean, what do you leave out for Santa?
Yeah.
I mean, is it a mince pie and glass of wine? Is it milk and cookies?
Is it dinner?
Is it
maybe you leave him some of your dinner whenever you've eaten?
Yeah. Or do you leave him anything at all? Does he get anything, when he comes to your house,
Yeah.
So
because he must get sick of milk and cookies at everybody's house. So, yeah, it makes sense to change it up a bit. Yeah.
But,
speaking of dinner, though.
Speaking of Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, turkey is the traditional thing that's eaten here and in Britain.
Yeah. So Christmas dinner in Britain is similar to Thanksgiving dinner over here.
Yes, yeah. Very much so.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just... I honestly don't know.
There's some customs that differ.
I don't know if it's just my family who has always done... And to be perfectly honest, once I've had Thanksgiving dinner, I don't really want it again at Christmas. But Christmas dinner is basically like Thanksgiving dinner...
Again.
Yeah.
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 I mean, so the stuff that we usually have, I mean, since we don't do it Thanksgiving in Britain, we only have Christmas dinner once a year,
Yeah.
I mean, it's different to what they'd call a Sunday roast, where it's like usually roast beef or roast pork. I mean, we'd have roast turkey with stuffing. Stuffing's a little bit different over here. You call it dressing, and it's a little bit more
stuffing,
bready.
Dressing, yeah.
Because we have sage and onion stuffing.
They roll it into balls.
Roll it into balls.
So it's sort of like a hush puppy, like what?
Almost like a hush puppy, what you would call a hush puppy, which is.
Is it fried on the outside, the stuffing balls?
No, it's roasted.
It's just rolled.
It's just rolled and roasted. Yeah. Parsnips, roast potatoes, and that's about it. That's gravy. And veg, other veg. Like carrots and. Whatever.
And then dessert?
Dessert really would be Christmas pudding or Christmas cake. Well, Christmas pudding I think is the dessert. Christmas cake is just eaten throughout the day, It's whatever,
Yeah.
And that's got icing in it. But Christmas pudding, that's something, it's used to be, plum or figgy pudding, give us some figgy pudding.
Oh, right. And it had figs in it, but does it still have figs?
No, I think it's just fruit now. It's just
I've never had Christmas pudding.
Yeah, you've never had it. I think they sell it. They do it at World Market, don't they?
Yeah, I've seen it there. We've never...
I don't know why we've never got it. Because, I mean, I've never been a big fan of it.
I hear every British person say that. I don't
like Christmas pudding. It's like a dark, rich fruit cake, which is it's it was eaten in the Middle Ages.
So people have it because of tradition, but they're not really that into it.
It's dried fruit, and they put alcohol over it. Usually they cover it in brandy. They cover the whole thing. It's like a dark, kind of like conical shaped thing with like dried fruit, and it's like really dense cake.
It doesn't have any.
And they pour brandy on it and light it and serve it like that, you know. And it's got like a little blue flame, and it's coming out, and you know. What they used to do, and I don't know if, I mean, I guess maybe some people in Britain still do this. When they were baking it, it was like in Victorian times, you know, it was a big Christmas. Plum pudding was the Christmas favourite. Everybody loved it because everybody was poor back then. No one had any money except the rich people, which kind of the same situation as it is now. But it was traditionally waited like a week before Advent, you know, before Christmas, you know, and it was like Stir-Up Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd put like a silver coin in the pudding. Like back then it was a sixpence. Now it's like a 5p piece, I'm sure, or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, whoever would be eating the thing and find it and hopefully not choke on it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it was bring luck to them, you know. It was said to bring luck. And you could put other things in there too. Like, back then it would be like a bachelor's button. If a single man who was at the table found his, they would remain single for the next year. And spinster's old maid thimble, you know, like a thimble for like sewing. Oh
yeah.
It's like if a single woman found it, they would stay single for the following year. And if there was a ring,
that's not good luck then, right?
Well, it's not good luck unless you found the coin.
At the time,
it would have. At the time, or if someone found a ring, if a single person found the ring, it meant you will get married in the following year. And it also could mean if you'd be rich too. So
I think there are other cultures that have similar
things. Yeah, I mean this is all kind of like,
and I think you get like a little baby in it, or
a
something
little baby,
like
and
that
means you're going to be having a baby, and
or it's just good luck or whatever.
Good luck
if you get that. Yeah.
So yeah. I mean,
you know the nursery rhyme. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his, isn't it, Christmas pie or something like that. He stuck
pudding and pie or something.
Stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum. Said, "What a good boy am I." That's what it made me think of. But yeah, so you do Christmas pudding, Christmas cake, which is what?
Christmas cake, which is the same thing as Christmas pudding, as I remember, but except it's like
it's got icing.
It's got icing. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of similar kind of desserts.
Mince pies.
Mince pies
also have fruit in them.
Fruit in them. People think it's mincemeat. I mean, they used to be mincemeat, but it's not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, traditionally it's mincemeat, but no one ever makes a traditional mincemeat pie. Because I remember I was watching the show once where this guy, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Benedict Cumberbatch, actually. He came, I think he was on the Graham Norton show, and he came on and he said, it's like, we're going to have mince pies. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, Went in and I took a bite, and I was just like, oh, because it was an actual mince pie. It's like, oh, God, but it's minced fruit, it is. And usually you have it with, like, brandy cream or something and warm it up and stuff, but it's minced, like, currants and raisins.
It's really delicious,
orange
actually.
Peel.
They're really good.
Yeah, we got some to have on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. So. I started to say before, and again...
I never used to like them when I was a kid, mince pies.
Really?
I hated them.
Oh, they're good.
I had
like all
maybe
the spices and...
I had one maybe, and I was just like, bleh, and then I was just like... Growing up, I was just like, I shied away from them because I thought they were disgusting,
Yeah.
My dad liked them, my mother liked them, as I remember, but I never wanted them. But then it's only recently, I think I had them with brandy cream or something. My uncle made some, and he put brandy cream on them, and I was like, oh, go on then. I was a bit hungry, I was like, I'll have one, and I was like, oh, it's really good.
Yeah,
taste buds have changed,
So yeah, I'm not gonna really like cover what our Christmas dinner over here, because like I said, it's mostly like
mashed potato, the turkey and Christmas
dressing.
Crackers you don't do.
Hang on. But I want to know, it's turkey dressing, mashed potato, cranberry, you know. As far as for us, it's pretty much the same thing. I don't know if it differs around the country or like, you know, maybe Italian Americans probably have something different. Mexican Americans, I think, do tamales.
Funnily enough, turkey originated in Mexico. Turkeys.
All the turkeys.
All the turkeys.
All the turkeys.
All the turkeys came from Mexico, and they were brought back like in the 50s. I was just reading that now.
Yeah.
And you know, so turkeys are all Mexican.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
No, but do you have, and you, I mean you, listening there.
That's
you guys.
You guys.
Do you have like Thanksgiving part 2 for Christmas dinner, or do you have like, I don't know, a big lasagna or a roast maybe, or pizza? I don't know, you know.
Pizza?
Tell us what you have. Tell us what you eat for Thanksgiving dinner. Give me some ideas on how to change this up, because I really have tried to convince my family that
lasagna.
Yeah, like let's do barbecue maybe if you're in the South. Yeah. So I just want to know. Tell me what you eat for Christmas dinner. You guys also do crackers.
Yeah,
with
crackers.
Christmas dinner.
And it's not like crackers like saltine crackers either.
No,
like
not
Christmas
not
crackers.
Ritz crackers.
You know, you pull them. You basically have them at the dinner table, and while you're eating, you know, like during like a break in like eating or something, you pull it with the person next to you or across from you or whatever, and it's just basically you pull one end, and
it's like a party favor.
It's a party favor, yeah. That's what they're known as over here. And you pop them because they've got a little bang in them, and whoever gets the full side has, you know, looks at it. It's usually a joke in them, you know, like a cheesy joke, a paper hat, or like a little toy or something to mess around with. I think we've got some we're gonna use.
Yeah, we've been doing them, I think, as long as we've been together. So
yeah, I mean that's something I brought over here and kind of like said, yeah, we've got to do this, because the paper hats, they've got to be worn
while you're eating.
And I have a feeling that kind of stemmed from Victorian times. You know, everybody could be a king on Christmas, you know.
Yeah.
Because they look like little crowns, you know.
Well, I think we've
covered everything about Christmas traditions.
Yeah. If we've forgotten something, or if you do something that we haven't mentioned, let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments, and join in discussion on the Facebook group Tea and a Buddy. Tweet us at TBuddy.
Otherwise, this is just like you and me going on about something, and we could be doing that
forever.
We do that anytime.
But we've recorded it now for your listening pleasure. Yes, we have. So anyway, goodbye everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.